All right, guys, welcome back to another video. We got a brand new Xbox Game Pass drop. We will get into that plus some other things. But before we do, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you do like daily gaming news content, and check out my Spotify. Link is in the description. So here is the latest announcement for Xbox Game Pass. We have 8 games coming over to the service, and there are some pretty fun ones in here. Overall, it's probably a smaller release, which we are going to be leading up to obviously bigger releases coming out in the next few months with all of the first party content, and hopefully some Activision Blizzard backwards compatible games dropping sometime soon. There is a rumor going around that is happening. I will show off that tweet after, but here are the 8 games coming over to Xbox Game Pass. You have Journey to the Savage Planet coming to cloud, console, and PC on July 3rd. Now, this game has already been in the Game Pass library. It is making a return. It is coming back, and a lot of people, I believe, enjoyed that game. So if you didn't end up purchasing it after it left Game Pass, now is your chance to jump back in. You got All-Star Brawl 2, which is a pretty fun beat 'em up or fighting Super Smash Brothers style of game, and it is coming to cloud, console, and PC on July 3rd, so out right now. Cricket 24 coming to cloud, console, on PC on July 9th. I mean, the name is self-descriptive. It is the yearly cricket game. The Case of the Golden Idol coming cloud, console, and PC on July 9th. Don't really know too much about this, but it does say here, mayhem, magic, and murder most foul. Examine clues and use your powers of deduction to solve the twisted mystery of a family's cursed inheritance and a series of grisly deaths in the point-and-click detective adventure game. So if you like those point-and-click where you're trying to solve mysteries and stuff, that game will be for you. This is a big one here because this one wasn't on Xbox Game Pass, and this is a really beloved game, Neon White. It is coming to cloud, console, and PC on July 11th. It's a first-person action game. It won awards. It got really, really good reviews. I have not played this game yet, but I've seen a lot of videos of it, and I've always wanted to check it out. And because my backlog is so big, I hadn't got into it. And as usual with Xbox Game Pass, games that I want to play end up generally dropping into the service. And now here we have Neon White, which is very exciting for me. We'll be checking this game out when it does drop July 11th. Then we have Chia coming July 11th, cloud, console, and PC. It says climb, glide, and swim and sail your boat around a beautiful archipelago as you explore a physics-driven sandbox. And the Xbox version includes the game's latest updates, which includes 8 new soul melodies, new outfits, and additional perks for wearing matching cosmetic items. So that's pretty cool. I mean, this version of the game on Xbox, you're getting, I guess, all of the latest content that does come with it. We have a day one game here called Magical Delicacy. Again, coming to cloud, console, and PC. This one on July 16th. And this is a pixel art platformer where you cook magical delicacies from a vast collection of ingredients in your own shop, and you explore an unfamiliar town and deliver tasty treats to the townsfolk. So if you like pixel art, you like platformers, this may be one for you to check out. And then Flock, available on July 16th, cloud, console, and PC. And this is another Xbox Game Pass day one game, multiplayer co-op game, where you're flying around and getting collectibles and things like that. And they say here, soaring through beautiful landscapes, seeking out rare and elusive creatures to add to your flock. Kind of seems like a aerial Pokemon game. That's what that sounds like. But those are the games. Again, not a massive drop here, but Neon White, I think, is going to be the standout from this release. And Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2, I'm sure people will jump in and play that one, as those Super Smash Bros. Fighting style of games are always a good time with friends and playing online and everything like that. And of course, there's going to be more games coming out this July. We have the Flintlock that is releasing day one into Xbox Game Pass later on this month, which is pretty exciting. And more announcements will be coming throughout the month. So here are the 8 games. Let me know in the comments which games do you want to play from this list. Are there any here that excite you from this most recent announcement? All right. And we were talking about ABK games. We were talking about ABK games yesterday as well, potentially coming over to Xbox Game Pass. Transformer games, the older ones from the 360, as well as Transformers Devastation from the Xbox One, were showing up on the Xbox Store, and this had people speculating that they're getting ready to drop them into Xbox Game Pass. Well, we have this tweet here from Ecstasies, who has put out rumors and leaks previously and has gotten some of them right. And he's saying here that there will be an ABK Xbox Game Pass scoop at Xbuter, which is a website where we see leaks and rumors come out. There's going to be a big article tomorrow about games that we can expect to be releasing into the service. So I'm pretty excited to see what that is. I hope it is those Transformers games. I'm hoping maybe even it's like the Tony Hawk games finally coming into the service, and hopefully we'll see something like Prototype coming back. And just there's so many games that they could put out there. The old Call of Duties, I mean, I'm surprised those haven't hit the service yet, especially with the fact that they fixed the servers and then you could go buy them. They're extremely cheap, but I was thinking that they were preparing for the ABK deal to go through, and then they would drop them into Game Pass to really improve the overall population of people playing those games. That hasn't happened yet, but it could be coming in the future. And of course, we're getting Black Ops 6 Day 1, which will be very exciting when that does end up dropping. So I'll look out for that. There'll be some stuff to talk about tomorrow when it comes to more ABK games coming over to the Xbox Game Pass service. Okay, let's jump over here. Let's quickly here talk about College Football 25, because this is finally coming back. Last game we had was NCAA 14. I was a fan of those games back in the day. I always kind of thought they were the more fun football games for a while there, because I think Madden lost its way after the OG Xbox and PS2 era of Maddens, but hopefully it'll eventually get back on track. But we're getting a new college football game, College Football 25, and everything we've seen so far, it looks very promising. And we got a deep dive into the Dynasty mode, which is the thing I'm most excited for, and probably what a lot of college football video game fans are excited for. And there's a lot of things here, some big takeaways here that make this sound really, really good. I'm not going to go over the huge article and stuff that they did show in the video, but here are the key things as mentioned in this article. You could be a head coach, an offensive coordinator, or a defensive coordinator in the game. Coaches fall under 3 archetype categories: recruiting, motivation, and scheme. And then there's like an RPG skill tree that you get to upgrade as you're coaching and stuff, which I thought was really cool, how you can just always choose the way you want to coach and then improve on those abilities. There's over 3,500 high school recruits that are generated each year to scout. If you ever played these games, one of the most fun things to do is actually scout and then try to build your team up from putting in all that work to find the best prospects for your team. And that sounds like they've done a good job of implementing that. That was always something that needed to be in this game for Dynasty Mode to be good. They have 14 pitch grades to determine a recruit's interest in your school. That was super cool how they showed the list and how you would move up and down the list depending on how you went about the recruiting process. They say some players have deal breakers that can lead to them not wanting to talk with you or even transfer from your school. Players can decommit from your school ahead of the national signing day. There's full conference realignment, which is awesome. And then they even showed off how, like, if you do realign the conferences, all of the, I guess, artwork and branding gets switched over on your jersey, on the field. Like, it was really, really well done. And the team builder allows importing of up to 16 teams per dynasty in your private dynasty modes, which is awesome. As somebody who lives in Canada, I love creating my own team and then just trying to get to the top with that team, because of course I don't have a hometown team for this game here itself. So pretty exciting stuff there. I'm excited for this game to be released. It is coming out on July 19th on the Xbox Series XS and the PlayStation 5. All right, well, we will talk about here some PlayStation stuff, some PlayStation Stars. The loyalty program is finally coming back. It was actually unavailable for a few months, but Sony says that it is coming back in a phased regional rollout. They say the service has been out of action since early June and Sony has failed to specify why, but they say here we're aware of an issue with PlayStation Stars and are actively working on a solution. And with an update now, they said PlayStation Stars will be returning soon in a phased regional rollout, and they thank people for their patience. So if you were somebody who was taking part in that program and you're happy to get all those PlayStation Stars, which allows you, I believe, to go out and purchase things on the store and stuff and just kind of get some cash back or money back based off of all of the activity you have within the PlayStation Network, it will be coming back and you will be able to finally start collecting those again. In depending on what region you're on, it'll come out at different times. Now, if you're a fan of Resident Evil, we finally have a direct confirmation that Resident Evil 9 is in development. This is via the director Koshi Nakanishi, and this is what he says. It says it was difficult to figure out what to do after Resident Evil 7. And if you remember Resident Evil 7 first person, it was a big change from Resident Evil 6. And I thought it was a really good game, but there were people who didn't enjoy it. They didn't want the first person view and all that stuff. But then they gave us Resident Evil 8, which was awesome as well. And now we're going to get Resident Evil 9, which rumors are saying that's going to be bigger, more open world, and it could be like the pinnacle of this trilogy of Resident Evil games. But he continues on here and says, but I found it, and to be honest, it feels substantial. I can't share any details yet, but I hoped you are excited for the day that I can. So Resident Evil 9 is coming, and we got information from the insider Dusk Golem that it could be releasing in early 2025. And Dusk Golem does have a pretty good track record with this type of stuff. And he says here, the possible delay I had heard murmurs about can be pushed aside. Resident Evil 9 should be revealed pretty soon, and the release next year. If what I previously heard holds true, it should be in January. It'll have had about a 7-year development cycle. And again, we are hearing that it could be an open world style of Resident Evil. Depending on how they do it, that sounds pretty good. If it's not like an insanely massive world where there's just a bunch of emptiness and not always keeping you engaged, then I think it will be pretty fun. If you're going to be able to kind of be out there, take on missions in the way that you want to take them on, but always be afraid of what's going to be coming at you, and always kind of have that sense of anxiety and fear as you're playing through the world itself. That's what I would be looking for if they were to go in that direction with Resident Evil 9. But I'm pretty excited, as I love 7, I loved 8, and definitely looking forward to 9. Now let's talk a little bit about Nintendo, because Nintendo's at it again. They are suing people. They hate when people emulate, get their games obviously illegally and all of that stuff. They are the police out there for the emulation community. They're always going out and suing, and they're doing it again here for a mod chip seller and the Switch piracy Reddit moderator. So it says here, the company has filed complaints against Ryan Daly, who operates a store called Modded Hardware, and also suing the Switch Pirates moderator on Reddit, Archblocks, whose real name is James Williams. And this says here, the lawsuit filed against Modded Hardware claims that Nintendo contacted Daly in March and threatened to sue him unless he stopped selling modded Switch consoles and MIG switches, which is a cart that enables you to actually pirate Switch games and everything on the current unmodded Nintendo Switches. It says, according to Nintendo's complaint, Daly agreed in March to stop selling the unauthorized devices, but continued to do so, claiming that he was looking for a new lawyer. And Nintendo therefore filed a complaint at a federal court in Seattle, accusing Daly of 6 charges, including trafficking in circumvention devices. And they also say here that Daly not only sold mods to customers, but also offered a mail-in service which enabled players to send in their Switch consoles and have them return modded, often with pirated games installed. And then when it comes to the Reddit group on Switch, they say the second lawsuit was filed against Arizona resident James Williams, who Nintendo claims is the operator, overseer, and driving force behind several pirate shops, through which defendant has offered massive libraries of pirated Nintendo Switch games. So basically, they're just going after this again. They go after big guys, they go after small guys. Nintendo does not care if what you are doing with modding their consoles and pirating their software and their games is getting just a little bit of traction, enough traction. They will go after you and sue you. And we've seen some major repercussions that people have been hit by Nintendo. They aren't stopping. They're going to continue to try to protect their games and their IPs. And I mean, emulation definitely has a place. And especially as we're going forward into the digital era, when it is going to be becoming more and more apparent that games are going to disappear, the only way you're going to be able to experience some of these are going to be through emulation. So it'll be interesting to see how this does play out going forward, as I think emulation is going to ramp up as we get into, again, a more digital era overall, where you just can't play some of these games anymore once they've been delisted and coming off of these stores. Okay, let's jump over here to some more layoffs. This is for the studio behind Tales of Kenzera Zao. They have been hit with layoffs. This is Surgent Studios, and they say here in a statement posted to Twitter, founder Abukar Salim said that just over a dozen people have been affected, saying it's a difficult time in the games industry, but we remain incredibly proud of our entire team's work on Zao and of the praise it has received from critics and players alike. Our focus is now supporting those affected, continuing our work on Zao, and looking to the future with our next creative project. So looks like that is happening, and you can see there are some people on LinkedIn that made some statements about this, saying, well, it looks like I'm joining all the people affected by the industry layoffs this year. Unfortunately, I have been affected by the layoffs at Surgent Studios, and you can go down and just see more people that have announced them getting laid off. Now, this is a game when it came out, I thought it looked pretty good, and I thought overall critically most people were positive about it. I think there was some controversy surrounding it, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what that was all about, but I probably just didn't sell enough. It wasn't a huge game, wasn't a huge release, but it looked like it was fun. And hopefully going forward, they just can continue to make some more games and be able to put out more content and have a chance to continue to grow as a studio. And another game that just released was the First Descendants. This is a free-to-play looter shooter that completely went over my head, to be honest. I forgot that this was dropping out, but it is out right now to download it and play. I'm downloading it. It looks like a lot of fun. I am going to be jumping into the First Descendants, and it is doing pretty good on the charts, even though it has mixed reviews. It says the First Descendants is an attractive third-person shooter with cooperative elements that are built around a gameplay loop involving intense boss battles. Players can assume control of a range of hero-like characters with various abilities and skills, and over time that roster is set to grow. And recently it has been discovered that one of the characters, Ultimate Bunny, boasts an extremely revealing outfit that rival Stellar Blade's Eve. I don't know, maybe that's why a lot of people are downloading it. Just throwing that out there. And it says, unfortunately, it seems though the First sentence is focusing on style over substance, with many players complaining about the hastily borrowed mechanics from other titles, the presence of sly microtransactions, and concerning data retention rules like gamers must agree to before they jump in and play. Presently, only 43% of the reviews on Steam are positive, but it is the 5th most popular game on Steam. So we'll see if that has really any effect, all of the negative reviews coming in right now, or if this thing will continue to grow. Of course, it's new, it's shiny, and people want to jump in and try it, like including myself. But it is a game that I've been seeing on social media all day yesterday, and even this morning. By the time you guys are watching this, I've seen already probably tons of clips on it, and the game looks like it's fun. It's free to play. We'll see how much the microtransactions really do hinder it. If they take care of that, if it continues to be something that gives people huge advantages, then it'll kind of turn me off a little bit from it, but hopefully they do continue to improve it and make the game better. But that's it for me, guys. If you did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you're new here and you like daily gaming content, make sure to hit the subscribe. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for the support. I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.